For more dialogue on population data, just go to my playlist entitled Populations, where I share different content about population data. And I hope you enjoy this specific dialogue. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, and I hope all is well for you today. And in this population-based series, we will be discussing anything from articles to news reports, potential conspiracy theories, and assessing population data. So if that's something you're interested in, hopefully you will enjoy this dialogue. And in this episode, we will be talking about population data. In this episode, we will be talking about the populations of Nigeria and Ethiopia. Nigeria is located in Western Africa. Ethiopia is located in Eastern Africa. Nigeria is rich in natural resources such as natural gas, petroleum, tin, iron ore, coal, limestone, niobium, lead, zinc, arable land. According to Britannica.com, Nigeria has a variety of both renewable and non-renewable resources, some of which have not been effectively tapped. Columbite. According to nigeriatradeoffice.org.tw, it lists Nigerian states and their natural resources. There are 36 Nigerian states, and I will list some of the resources. According to this site, it says bentonite, barite, bitumen, salt, kaolin, dolomite, marble, tantalite, phosphate, cyanite, uranium, feldspar, manganese, granite, gemstones such as sapphire, ruby, emerald, tourmaline, topaz, garnet, amethyst, zircon, fluorspar, aquamarine. Ethiopia is rich in natural resources such as small reserves of gold, platinum, copper, potash, natural gas, hydropower, tantalum, niobium, salt, marble, coffee. According to harvard.edu, Ethiopia is gifted with abundant natural resources of adequate land mass, fertile soil, favorable climate, water, wildlife, and others. Many of its resources are not properly identified, well managed, and fully exploited. According to mom.gov.et, it lists many of the resources in Ethiopia, and here are some. Iron, nickel, chromite, phosphate, sapphires, emeralds, fiery opals, lithium, graphite, limestone, gypsum, clay, pumice, feldspar, silica sand, granite, sandstone, diatomite, bentonite, soda ash, sulfur. According to Ethnologue, Nigeria contains 520 living indigenous languages and 10 non-indigenous languages. Ethiopia contains 87 living indigenous languages and 5 non-indigenous languages. According to wilsoncenter.org, there are more than 300 ethnic groups in Nigeria. According to Exploriata.com, there are 7 main ethnic groups in Ethiopia, but over 80 different ethnic groups in Ethiopia. According to tuco.co.ke, there are more than 80 Ethiopian tribes. According to the U.S. Department of State.gov, there are more than 77 different ethnic groups in Ethiopia, each with their own distinct languages. 66.2% of Nigerian women representing the ages 15 through 49 are currently married. 67.5% of Ethiopian women representing the ages 15 through 49 are currently married. 40.4% of people in Nigeria are 0 to 14 years old. 56.2% 15 through 64 years old. 3.4% 65 years and over. The majority of people in Nigeria are between the ages 15 through 64 years old. 38.7% of people in Ethiopia are 0 to 14 years old. 58% 15 through 64 years old. 3.4% 65 years and over. The majority of people in Ethiopia are between the ages 15 through 64 years old. The median age of Nigeria is 19.3 years old. The median age of Ethiopia is 20.4 years old. Nigeria's growth rate is 2.1%. Ethiopia's growth rate is 2.6%. Nigeria ranks as the most populated country in Western Africa. Nigeria ranks as the most populated country in Africa. Nigeria ranks as the 6th most populated country on Earth. Ethiopia ranks as the most populated country in Eastern Africa. Ethiopia ranks as the 2nd most populated country in Africa. Ethiopia ranks as the 10th most populated country on Earth. There is a net gain of 1 person every 6.5 seconds in Nigeria. There is a net gain of 1 person every 9.2 seconds in Ethiopia. The gross reproduction rate of Nigeria is at 2.19, which means that the next generation of daughters will replace the former generation of women. The gross reproduction rate of Ethiopia is at 1.89, which means that the next generation of daughters will replace the former generation of women. The total fertility rate of Nigeria is 4.3, which means that the population is sustainable. The total fertility rate of Ethiopia is 3.8, which means that the population is sustainable. There is one birth every 4.1 seconds in Nigeria. There is one birth every 7.6 seconds in Ethiopia. There are 20,919 births every day in Nigeria. There are 11,435 births every day in Ethiopia. Now let us look at the 2025 current populations as per World Population Review. Nigeria is at 237,434,473. Ethiopia is at 135,406,550. World Population Review has changed up its projection dates. So rather than the typical 20, 30, 40, and 50 numbers, it is now by 1. So it will likely be, unless they change it to the other format, like this for future episodes: 2031, 2041, and 2051. Let's look at the population forecast for the years 2031, 2041, 2051. By 2031, Nigeria is set to increase to 267,421,000. By 2041, Nigeria is set to increase to 317,607,000. By 2051, Nigeria is set to increase to 363,524,000. By 2031, Ethiopia is set to increase to 156,382,000. By 2041, Ethiopia is set to increase to 192,069,000. By 2051, Ethiopia is set to increase to 228,687,000. Well, that is all we have for today's episode, and I hope you enjoyed this discussion, where we looked at the populations of Nigeria and Ethiopia. Thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for more.